Welcome to the weekly Q&A. If you're new, we do this every Monday. And this is just an opportunity for you guys to ask questions, learn more about the algorithm, strategy mode. If you guys have any questions about how to enter, exit, really anything that you guys need to know or have questions or concerns, we're here to help you guys get results. So if there's any questions, feel free to send those in right now, and then we'll just take everything step by step. And then if you're watching the replay on YouTube, feel free to put your questions in the comments, and then we can answer your questions on YouTube directly as well. Danny is asking, when do you consider that a pair has a second entry? Take GBP, GPY, it's still an open strategy mode trade. It already hit TP1 and TP2, but it never retraced to the entry. So we never got in. In case it would come back to the entry, would you consider this a first or second trade? Good question. So let me open up GBP, GPY, and then we can go through that pretty quick here. Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen now. So on, let me open my chat as well. Okay, so on GBP, GPY, there has been no entry yet. So the long entry box is here, but we didn't get triggered yet. If you're not using X mode, I don't think anybody on strategy mode has been in this trade, unless they executed this trade wrong, then they would be in the trade. But if you follow the strategy mode, if you follow the plan, you're not in this trade yet. So this trade, this opportunity only showed up when price moved above or neutral over here. So now we want price to come back into a neutral level and trigger or buy limits. So we want price to come back here, trigger or buy limits. But this is actually not a repeated trade. It's not an active trade. This trade has not played out yet. So the way we enter, right? We enter always on retracements when we're looking for longs. If we're sellings, we're looking for a price to move up so we can sell it. But if we're going long, like in this case, we want to buy here. We want price to come back down, and then we can buy it. So this is actually a trade that hasn't been triggered. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, you can put a buy limit order for this, Norma. So just go into your BFT panel, copy your values, and then put them into your trading platform. Danny, does that answer your question? Yes, this would be, once it comes down, that would be the first time this is playing out. We can see that these wicks here on the candles, that didn't quite go into our buy entry. So these candles here haven't triggered our positions. If we look at something like Euro CHF, and this one has already been playing out a couple times. So you can see this one, our first entry was, this was the entry, it went to TP. Here we got entry again, went to TP. And now this would be the third time. So I did suggest, if you guys watch the weekly trade review, comes out every Sunday, I did suggest that this would not be a good trade to take right now, just because it's been repeated a couple times. Yeah, so if you guys, I don't know if you guys were aware, but every Sunday we make a weekly trade review where I go through all of the trades that are currently available in strategy mode, and then you guys can review them, take them alongside with me, and make sure that you guys are reading the strategy trades correctly. And if there's any repeated trades, I always let you guys know. That way you can learn the strategy quicker and then just avoid some of the bad trades. So entering 3 different entries, but only pays one of the TPs. TP1, EP3 with TP2 in the same stop loss. So entering 3 different, I'm not quite sure if I know what you mean. If you have 3 different entries, you should also have 3 different TPs. So you can just copy the values here. So it gives you entry 1, entry 2, entry 3, and it gives you TP1, TP2, TP3. But they're all going to have the same stop loss. So entry 1 is for TP1, entry 2 is for TP2, and entry 3 is for TP3. On NZD-CAD, do we wait until daily candle closes below the entry box, or is it active as soon as it goes a pip below the box? Let me open this up, and then we'll have a quick look. So we'll go to NZD-CAD. Let's check it out. So NZD-CAD is right now, it's trading above or short entry. We want price trading below the entry. So in this case, we want price going below a nice candle closing below or short entry here. Once we have that, then you can place your limits. But we always want price trading below or entry. In this case, it's trading above, so we can just skip this one. So we want price closing below it, a daily candle. If the candle isn't closed, it can go below, and then all of a sudden the next day it can go back up. But if it closes below, we got a nice strong close below, then there's a high chance it'll continue going down. Tanya's asking, GBP, I set up the buy limit order last Thursday, still pending. Should I change entry to today's numbers? So these entry points, you don't have to change them or update them. You can just set them up and leave them. If the algo recalculates to a different price point, then you can change them. But these entries, they're going to change every day to slightly different values. And that's because so, for example, if a broker sees that, 1,000 people are putting in the same values, the same TPs, the same stop loss, they're going to think, someone is cheating the system. So we want to make sure that every member enters on a slightly different value, so the broker doesn't catch or doesn't flag your account. So it's really not a big deal if you would be entering the same price point, but just to delegate some of that risk, we want to make sure that everyone has a slightly different entry. So that's why, if you refresh the navigator, if you come back the next day, the values will be slightly different. But you don't have to update those, so you can just keep them on the same number. Can I load the BFT Navigator into my broker's MD4 platform? Nope. So this just runs on Navigator. We're not going to be able to do this on an administrator platform. So you guys have to go through the Navigator, pick out your trades, create a watch list, and you can then import those into your trading platform. Yes, when TP1 hits, you move stop loss to your entry point. So when it does come back, you're not going to be closing in a loss. Should we dump USHF if you have pending order? Me personally, that's a trade I don't have set up right now, like discussed in the weekly trade review. What you can do if it's repeated trade, you can either just skip it, or you can lower your risk. So instead of risking 3.5, you can just risk like 1% or something. But the rule of thumb, if it's repeated too often, you can just skip the trade and then just wait for a new setup. Okay, any other questions about strategy mode? If there's no other questions about strategy mode, we'll move into X mode. But on these calls, primarily we just want to focus on the strategy mode because that's what most people are trading. And I don't want to confuse you guys or give you something that you're not ready for. But so, are there any questions about strategy mode? Do we only use the daily time frame for strategy mode? Yeah. So we actually right now strategy mode is only available on the daily. We used to have this available on the 4-hour when we were still on TradingView. But what we've noticed is that most people who were using the strategy mode on the 4-hour, they were just not ready for it. Because when you're trading lower time frames, like the 4-hour, you need to have proper trading discipline, and you need to know how to day trade. And if you don't know that and you're taking these trades just blindly, it's very easy to get off track. So we found that strategy mode works best on the daily for the people that don't have that much experience. If you're looking to go into the lower time frames, then X mode is going to be very handy for you. In the future, we might enable strategy mode on a low time frame, so people that basically go through like a simulator, they show us they have the experience, they can do it. Once we know they can do it, then they get access to the strategy mode on lower time frames. But right now, it's just on the daily. Generally, what time do the alerts show up on the daily time frame? So because the trades are based on price action and market structure, there's no certain time or certain day of the week when these will show up. It all depends on the market. So if the market has some good moves, some breakouts, or it's building nice supports or resistances, then the algo is going to show us those opportunities. But if there's no opportunities in the market, the algorithm just can't whip up a trade. The market first needs to develop. Once it's developed, then it can give us a trade opportunity. But yeah, it really depends on there's no certain time of the day or week that this happens. Yeah, so just check back once a day, maybe make a routine every morning, every evening, or maybe just once a week. I usually do it Sunday morning or Sunday night, and then I'll check again like Wednesday, And then usually again on Sunday, if I see someone, posting something into the group of a new trade that they just found, I'll check it out. But usually just Sundays, and then in the middle of the week sometime. Because when a new trade opens up, a new trade opportunity shows up on the algorithm, usually it takes a couple of days to get triggered anyway. So if a new trade opportunity comes up, there's no need to rush it. You have time. It's going to take a few days to get into your entry. The distance between entry and TP1 on NZD-CAD seems to be very big. So this trade would take weeks to complete. It's not bad. This could play out pretty quick, depending on the market right now. But it could take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We don't know. It's up to the market, right? We can't say that. For example, this one here, this move right here took 1, 2, 3, 4 days from the breakout. So in 4 days you could be more than halfway down. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Of course, this is just based on the previous move, but that would be kind of a good rule of thumb, I guess. But yeah, we can't predict that. We can only predict where price is going to be rejected. So, but again, this is not a valid trade setup. Price is currently trading above our entry. We want price trading below our entry so we can get an entry here and then take it down to a TP. The X mode can be used on all time frames on other instruments too? Question mark. Yeah, X mode is for experienced traders, people who know how to trade. If you understand X mode, then you can trade that on any time frame. But what I suggest one of you do is, instead of going into lower time frames, just enable strategy mode and X mode together on your chart, and then see how these trades actually come together. Why is the strategy mode showing what it is? So if you do this and you learn how to use strategy mode alongside X mode, then it'll give you better understanding of X mode as well. But if you just rush into the low time frames, just use X mode or just to get into more trades, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Trading is not a thing you should rush. Just take it one step by step. Learn a strategy. Once you've learned the strategy, then you can move into learning how strategy mode works with X mode. Once you know that, then you can slowly move into the 4 hour, etc. Can you use X mode on discovery plan? Yes. So X mode works all the way down to the 1 hour. So just enable it here in your trade mode panel, and then once you've this enabled, you can go into low time frames. Discovery is all the way down to the 1 hour, and then you have access to X mode there too. With discovery plan, you only have access to Forex. If you want to trade stocks, equities, indices, commodities, then you need the Pro plan. And Pro plan also gives you access to X mode on 50 minute, 5 minute, and 1 minute. What I learned so far in X mode, that if you have SSSS and RRRR 100%, then go for the trades. But other X modes, we can create more trades, such as I've seen trades where entries are 75%. So, these levels, just because it says 100% doesn't mean that it's a level you can trade. It means that it's a high probability or high confidence level, but it doesn't tell you that you should just go and take that trade. You need to know like basics of market structure and kind of how the markets work. You can't just enter blindly on these X mode trades. You need a proper trading plan, right? So, what's my confirmation for the entry? When do I exit? Where do I exit? Where am I going to put my stop loss? How much do I need to risk? What kind of candles am I looking for? What kind of levels do I need to execute the trade on? What's my risk reward ratio going to be? How do I scale in? How do I scale out? But yeah, generally, the SSS or the 100% levels, those are the best levels in X mode. They have the highest confluence, and the other levels, it's the same thing, right? So 75% has is the next high confluence level, and the ones below that are the lower confluence level. So if the 100% and 75%, those are the high confluence levels. How to gracefully close trades. For example, trade hits TP1. I then move stop loss to entry now, then wait for TP2, and if TP2 is reached, take profit, or TP2 not reach, or get reversal close trade, or what other options, what's good practice. So you place your entries. Once you triggered, maybe we can look for an example we can actually use. So this is not the best example, but so let's say you got triggered here. You know, price went to TP1. You got stopped out, you took your first positions off. You went back down. The last position got closed at break even. And from there, you can place the limit orders again. So price went back up, you can place them again. And then you got triggered again, you took it back up to TP1 again. From there, you close the position at TP1. And then the other position is now almost at break even again. So you can take the trade multiple times if you made profit on the first, second one. If you're just coming into this now and didn't make any profit off of this, then just skip it. Yeah, so if your first TP gets reached, just move to break even, just like the handbook tells you. And that's pretty much it. You know, the best practice is the one that you'll find in the handbook, really. What would you recommend I review today in preparation for the dojo tomorrow? There's nothing really for you to prepare. You'll be added to the group tomorrow, and then you know, just have a pen and paper if you want to. It's not necessary. You don't really need to know or have much for the call. Just show up, have a mic ready, be in a quiet place. That's pretty much it. Norma is asking, do we always enter on the pullbacks? Yeah, so we always enter on the pullbacks. That's why we use the sell and buy limits. That's really the best way to enter, because then we're not chasing the market. We're always going to get the best price. So, you know, we're going to sell expensive, we're going to buy cheap. So, yeah, pullbacks are the best way to enter. So if it hits TP1, it will close automatically. Then you will have two still running till it hits TP2 and TP3. So you close both positions at the TP1, and then you leave one running to TP3. So you would take two positions into this TP, and the last one will go to the last TP up here. How do I know if it hit TP1 if I was asleep at the time? So, you know, you should have your TPs preset. So if, you know, it does close on its own if you have set up your take profit, and if it hits that take profit, it'll close on its own. So if you want to see if it's closed, you can go to your account history and check. Sometimes, you know, price is going to go very close to your TP and it might not close it. And in that case, you can close yourself, or just wait for price to go into that area again and do a full, basically, you know, full test on your TP. But yeah, if you set up your TPs, it should close them for you. But again, there's times when it gets very close, but doesn't quite hit it. Is it advisable to set a trailing stop? No, just follow the strategy on the handbook. Once you start going out of the strategy, that's where you start losing. So, you know, there's people who join us, and they think they're pros, and they start to add their own things to the strategy, and then later they complain it doesn't work for them. It's just because they haven't executed the trades like they should. So if you're losing more than you're making, that means you're not doing something right. If you joined in the last week or two, there haven't been a lot of setups, so you might have been exposed to less setups. But as long as you keep executing trades and, you know, you're following the strategy, you're going to be in profit, because the win rate is around 70%. So if you win 70% of your trades and you lose 30% of your trades, that's a really good ratio. So as long as you keep taking the trades and you don't mess with them, then you're going to be in the blue. Awesome. Any other questions? There are some stocks available, opportunities right now. I don't know if you guys trade stocks, but if you are, I believe there's some strategy mode trades right now. Let's see. Yeah, so there's one. QCOM is one on for stocks, a long entry. I think GoPro had one. No, that's not a strategy trade. Bank of America, let's see. Yeah, Bank of America is fresh. And then we have, what else is there? Ford has a trading setup on stocks. And yeah, those are some of the trades available on equities right now. If you guys are trading those. What new features coming to strategy mode, navigator, repeated trades, indicator, belief, what else? So if you go to feedback.trading, feedback.breakfreetrading.com, you know, there's a large variety or a big list of things that are being worked on. I can quickly open that up and then we can go through it if you want. 1 second. So this here is a feedback portal. This is where you can see, you know, recent, basically a roadmap, right? So you can see what's planned, what's in progress, what's completed. So these are the things that are being worked on right now. So you can see a repeated trade analyzer. That's a very high requested feature. But we want to integrate or chat into the navigator, algo update alert, calendar. Oh, you guys can see my screen. 1 second. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so this is the roadmap, the things we're working on right now. You can see on the right here, these are the things that are completed. In the middle, we have in progress. So repeated trade analyzer, you can see that one has a lot of votes. This one is on the list. We also have Telegram integration, and then some other things here. And roadmap, these are the things on the left here planned. Those are the things that are planned. So if you guys have feedback, if you guys want to see something that's not currently in the navigator or on the algo, just go to feedback.breakfreetrading.com, click on give feedback, select the category, it should go under, and then yeah, you guys can submit your own features, any ideas, anything you want to see, add them here, and from here people can upvote them. What are some of the ways to use replay to make good trading decisions? So, you know, replay is really good for making, basically testing a strategy. So if you're testing out something new, if you want to see what the results are, replay is great for that. Or if you just want to practice, or if you want to build some more confidence in certain setups, that's what replay is good for. Usually, you know, the weekends, that's a good time to kind of go through replay and then just practice, get some more confidence and stuff like that. Will strategy mode ever run out? No. Currently, the navigator can't be seen on mobile phone. You can open navigator on your phone. It should work. It is responsive, so you can open this on any device. If you're having any specific issues, just type them into the global chat, and then maybe someone from the support can help you out. Let's talk X-Mode. Okay, Joseph, what do you want to know about X-Mode? There's a few videos on YouTube already talking about X-Mode in very detail. So if you look at the US 30 video, that one is quite detailed on X-Mode. And we're also taking trades on there if you want to check it out. Yeah, so what X-Mode is quite comprehensive. So what do you want to know? Okay, the basics. Yeah, we can go through the basics. Okay. Let me find a good pair to do this on. Okay, so X-Mode, you know, it gives you basically a trading range, right? So with X-Mode, it gives you your support, resistance, neutral, and this is your range. So the top of the range is your resistance, the bottom of the range is your support, and in the middle, we always have a neutral. So between your resistance and your support, you have a neutral level. And this gives you kind of a trading range, right? So in an uptrend, we're only looking to buy supports or neutral level. In a downtrend, we're only looking to sell resistance or neutral. So the neutrals, those levels are a little, basically, you know, it's a level in under construction. So the neutral is it could be either support or resistance depending where price is trading. So if price is trading above a neutral, it's a support level. If price is trading below a neutral, it's a resistance level. So, you know, depending if price is below or above it, it can either be support or resistance. which also makes the neutral level less likely to break. So the best levels to buy and sell from are either your support at the bottom of the range or resistance at the top of the range. Now, what's important with these excellent levels is your alignment. The alignment, that's your basically your confluence across different time frames. So if you have a 75% alignment, that's a higher confluence level. If you get 100% alignment, that's the highest confluence. So you can see this one has 75% alignment, this one has 75% alignment. There's no 100% on this one right now. But yeah, so you want to focus on the 75% alignment and the 100% alignment levels. Those are going to be your best levels. Yeah, and the important thing is just to go with the trend. You know, the trend is your friend. If you trade with the trend, your probability is going to be a lot higher. Can I just trade extension 1? Yeah, you can do that if you want. I know some people who are just trading extensions, and yeah, it works for sure. How many times does it hit on 5 minute is rare? It's going to be hit quite a bit on the 5 minute, especially if you go through multiple markets. Of course, it's not going to be as often as a regular level, because the extensions happen when the price is overextended in that certain time frame. So you're going to get those not that often, but if you go down to the 5 minute, you're going to get them. You can get them a couple times a week. It's definitely more than enough. In the 5 minutes, in the 1 hour, 4 hour, you're not going to get them that often. But if you go into the minute charts, that's where you'll find the extensions a lot more common. Do you need to change anything in the default X mode settings, or can you just use it as it comes to start off on those small time frames? Yeah, X mode is just plug and play. You just got to know how to read the levels. Again, you need to have an understanding of trading discipline and some of the basics behind trading. Yeah, but yeah, X mode, you can't really change much in the settings. While using the replay on the strategy mode, it's only the last bar that a trade appears and not on the actual bar. GBP is active, but it was activated several days ago. However, in replay mode, it only appears as valid. So the strategy mode does not fully work in replay. Replay is more for X mode, but that might be something we're going to fix in the future. All right, guys, any other questions? Let me know. Danny, did I answer your question about the trade on GJ? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, the market is going to have some moves this week, and then create some new opportunities. Like I said, right now we only have a 5, I think, so 5 opportunities right now. But again, that can change, over the week. Like I said, we don't know, right? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I got most of these set up except UCHF, because I already took profit on this twice, so I'm not looking to enter again. UJ looks like we're gonna get another entry opportunity here on UJ. Yeah, so got triggered on this twice, or it gave you the opportunity to enter twice if you missed it. But this is not a repeated trade. This is also fresh. Hasn't hit TP1 yet, so this is a good trade to set up if you guys want. Yeah, and all the other ones are good too, except USCHF. Okay, awesome. If there's no further questions, then that's it for today's Q&A call. If you guys have further questions, just put them into the global chat, and then we can take care of you guys there. Yeah, and any other questions or concerns, any support, anything related to that, just put them into the chat as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Again, recording will be up on YouTube later on. If you missed this call, if you want to replay it. Warren is asking, how do you show just to flag pairs on the watch list? So to get to that, so first you need to create a so you need to go to your watch list, and then from there you need to flag your trade. So let's say purple, and then if you go back to the toggle here to the drop down, it's going to show up all the way at the bottom. So you can see I have some flags here. So yeah, just go to your watch list, scroll all the way to the bottom, and then it's going to show up at the bottom. Make sense, Warren? Perfect. Awesome. You guys have a good day, and then I'll talk to you guys in the chat. Bye-bye.